Hi, I'm Sarima Sadaman. I'm an artist and owner of Ink Paper Plate in Point Reyes. I started printmaking in school. I'm trained as a sculptor, but as I got older and got out of school, I started to lose friends because they weren't around to help me move my sculpture. So I started doing prints. What I like about printmaking is that it's similar to sculpture and there's a great physicality to it. And the way that I work, it's a subtractive medium. So I'm looking at everything in masses and from light to dark. So I tend to work from the landscape, but they're not traditional landscapes. There's a little hidden aspect of something that we've made to conquer or tame nature, and oftentimes there's sort of nature sort of taking over the thing that we've accomplished. And it might not be obvious. It might be a barn that's got rotting wood or a fallen down tree or a tractor or a satellite dish, and it looks like a landscape. It might be a cloudscape, there might be trees. What I really like is the juxtaposition of us and the natural world. A lot of our technology is about us surmounting something. We're going to tame the land, we're going to farm it, we're going to create this VW bus that hauls all kinds of things back and forth. We're creating a satellite dish to look for signs of an extraterrestrial life. When we create these things, it's the best thing ever because we've conquered something and we're one step closer. But then there's a point where we discard it, and that's when I'm interested in the technology. I'm interested in the point of obsolescence where we don't need those big industrial machines anymore because we're going into the digital age, so everything's intangible. I mean, there's definitely a lot of love for like ruin porn, like let's go to Nebraska or Detroit and let's go look at all the gutted out places. And that's great. Like, why are we attracted to that? Are we attracted to it because there are these like peeling, exfoliating surfaces, or it's bones of something? Is it looking at history? All those things are, in some way, this perverse memento mori, this sort of portrait of something that's past. But I think we can't forget the past. What are we leaving behind as we rush forward to the next era of humanity and human progress? In some ways, the work has got some melancholy to it, it's got moodiness to it. So maybe that's why I like the graphic nature of the artwork, because it is so, it's so stark. And my work tends to be fairly expressive and masculine, so oftentimes because I work on a heroic scale, I want things to be completely beyond your peripheral vision. I want it to engulf you, or I work very, very small. It's really cool for me to see there's humor in it. There's something about like, here are these big tractors or these big things that we've built that are meant to tame nature, and here nature is totally grown up and entangled herself and just swallowed them back up. Like, you see that in the ocean, you see that in old factories, you see that across America. Part of having my print studio here in Main Street, Point Reyes, in the feed barn at the gas station, is to make printmaking accessible. And I think today the authorship, the viewership, and the ownership of art can be very exclusive. All of the subject matter for my work have been places that I've visited, that I've gone to, that have moved me. And I've hopped out of the car or stopped and taken a picture and just taken it all in. And I can remember every single one of these places. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna snap a shot. I'm out of the car, I'm back in the car. Like, it moved me to the point where I got out of the car, or I stopped whatever I was doing, and I sat there and I walked around probably for half an hour and recorded it and remembered the sensations and remembered the emotional state. And then I'll go back and look at them and I'll conjure up that feeling again. And if I can do that with a place and it keeps coming back to me really crisp, like a really vivid audio, sensory memory, then I'll carve it. The biggest compliment that someone can give me is that when they stand in front of my piece, they feel the wind, or they can smell the ocean or the trees, or they get a sense of the place. You have to slow down to do a print. You can't just come in and just bang it out in an hour. I mean, you could if you've done it a long time, but the whole act of slowing down and really observing and perceiving things and sort of settling in to what you're doing is something that is also lost in our culture today. When I get to the point where I know how it should feel and it's true to the place, then I'll just make all the marks and just be done.